Hello everyone. So now we have came to the end of our discussion about tunnel engineering, and in this lecture I'll focus on the ventilation aspect of tunnels. Now you all know or you all must have seen at some point of time huge fans or exhaust which are fitted inside the tunnel, so they look something like this on the photograph on the left what you see. So those are provided for the purpose of ventilation of the tunnel during the operation phase. But ventilation, as far as it is concerned, this term, so you need to think about ventilation at two different stages in your tunnel construction. One is during the construction phase when you are actually excavating things and drilling, blasting, or some heavy machinery is being used. So during that phase, a lot of dust particles are emitted and all exhaust gases are emitted through the machinery. So you have to think of ventilating your tunnel appropriately so that the workers who are constructing this tunnel or the engineers who are inside or any human being which is inside this tunnel during the construction phase is not affected by those exhaust gases and the dust. And the second phase in which you have to think over the ventilation of a tunnel is during the operation phase. And in the operation phase, mainly if it is a tunnel which is carrying railways or vehicles, okay, basically roadways or railways, then there will be exhaust emission from the vehicles or the engines of the trains, and in that case also it will be hazardous if you don't let out this gas, so that will affect the users of this tunnel. So that's the two phases in which you have to think about the tunneling, or sorry, about the ventilation in a tunnel. So obviously the necessity of it is quite obvious. It is to supply the fresh air inside the tunnel. It is to remove the exhaust and the dust which is generated, and as I told you, it is generated during this all these processes of construction. And then another purpose of ventilation is to maintain the temperature within the tunnel. Okay, because if they are situated at a very greater depth below the ground level, so in that case the temperature is high in those areas. As you go, you know this, that as we go towards the earth core or deeper into the earth crust, the temperature goes on increasing. So in that case you need to maintain the temperature as well. Okay. So like we have seen in the drainage, we have again two systems for air ventilation as well. One is the temporary, another is the permanent. And temporary, it is moreover only focused on this construction phase, that whatever is the dust which is emitted during this construction phase, so your temporary ventilation system will take care of it and then it will let out all the dust. And permanent ventilation system, it is more of a, it moreover focuses on this operation phase. Okay. But nevertheless, your permanent system, it may also be installed right at the beginning of your construction. Okay. Or whatever is the temporary system, ventilation system which is installed, so the same can be altered a bit and then it can be converted to permanent. All right. But generally these two different systems are used because ventilation system, mainly if you see, it is installed on the roof, and the construction of a roof, it takes some time because right after the excavation you don't get a clear roof. You have to go for a membrane or a lining kind of thing, and then you get a perfect roof that you can be utilized further. Okay. So before going to the different ways in which we can remove this exhaust gases, we'll talk about that which kind of tunneling operation creates what kind of pollution from the dust point of view. So excavation, if you see, so all the values that you see in this second column, they are in milligram per meter cube of air, you can say. So excavation, it creates 10 to 1000 milligram of dust per meter cube, depending on how much is the duration of that excavation and how much outlets you have provided. Then loading of materials that are excavated, again it generates the same amount of dust. Mucking, it creates some less amount of dust because a lot of water is also involved. because whatever is the muck which is generated from excavation, so that is basically in addition mixed with water or some slurry, so that's why the value is less over here. Drilling, again, during drilling, as I told you, we never use a drill bit as it is. We always use it with water to control the temperature of the drill bit so that it doesn't get damaged. So that's why you can see the density of dust is less over here. Blasting, it creates a lot of dust, again 100 to 300. And shortcutting, again a less amount of dust, because again it is, shortcutting is nothing but your cement slurry along with some sand or other additives, so the dust is less in that case. So from this, now you will come to know that what kind of operation in a tunneling will require what kind of ventilation system. So basically the excavation and loading unloading of materials, that will create a lot of dust, and you have to think for a proper ventilation system which will cater this to tunneling works. So the basic principle that can be used if we go for a natural tunneling, or no, sorry, natural ventilation, is the openings that you have in the tunnel. So till now what we have studied, that either your tunnel, it can have just two openings, one is the entry point and another is the exit point, or your tunnel, if you have shaft somewhere in between, so those can be also used as an entry exit point. So in that case, now you can have four different points through which your air can enter and then go away. So based on this openings, you have these three different types of flow of air, what you can say. So first is portal to portal. Now this is the first case in which you don't have any pilot tunnel, no service tunnel, nor a shaft. So in this, whatever is the entry point, that will be only source of, say, input of air, and then exit portal will be output of air. So if you are relying on this kind of a system, that is portal to portal ventilation system, so you have to be very sure that your alignment of the tunnel, it is in the direction of the wind, predominant direction of wind. Okay. So if suppose it's not that way, so you can't rely much on this portal to portal system. Then portal to shaft, again from the name itself, that you have either one shaft, so your portal can be one point of inlet and your shaft can be another point of outlet. Or then you can have shaft to shaft, in which if you have multiple shafts at different intervals, or at least two or three shafts, so those can be used as an additional entry and exit point for a air or exhaust gases. So in ventilation system, you have a longitudinal system in which whatever is the entry and exit of your tunnels, those are used as the main entry and exit point. So entry point for the fresh air and exit point for the exhaust. So obviously you can't just rely on the natural ventilation, that if you just provide a tunnel without any fans or exhaust system, so you can't rely that okay, from one point the fresh well will come inside and from the other point the exhaust gases will be emitted. Okay. So this doesn't happen always, and especially it doesn't happen when you have a longer length of your tunnel. So there you have to provide such exhaust fans, so which will throw the exhaust gases in one direction and then it will make way for the fresh air from another direction. Or you can have a transfer system. Transfer system is nothing but a up and down flow of your air. So in longitudinal system, what we saw is the flow of air was in left right direction, you can say, in the direction of alignment of the tunnel. But in the transfer system, the movement of your air, it is in the perpendicular direction or in the cross section direction. Okay. So you have such vents which are there in your lining. Okay. And then you make the use of shaft. So here in the photograph, what you see here in this figure, so you have two fans that are fitted, and let us erase this. So this fan on the right side, what you have here, it's red in color, and the fan on the left side you have it in blue color. So blue color indicates that fan is an inlet fan, so it sucks the fresh air from the outside, and then this red color indicates that this fan, it will be throwing out, or it will be an exhaust fan which will be taking out all the used air or the exhaust or the emissions which are coming out in the tunnel. Okay. So in this way, the circulation of the fresh air and the exhaust, it will be in vertical direction. Okay. So on the right side, what view see, you side the side view, what you see. So the fresh air, it travels in this direction, and it is given an inlet from the bottom, and the exhaust, obviously you all know that exhaust gases, they are generated out of the engine of the vehicle, so the temperature is a bit high for them, and more the temperature, lighter is the exhaust gases and air, and it will rise to the top. So that's why exhaust fan, or the exhaust, it moves in upward direction, and the fresh air that we have uh, just included into our system, that is a bit cold as compared to the exhaust, so that's why it is heavy, and it will be beneficial if you just give an inlet from the bottom. Okay. So this is nothing but the transfer system. Another photograph what you can see over here. So the same thing, orange color arrows indicate the exhaust, and the blue colors indicate the fresh air. Then there is also a semi-transfer system. Now in the semi-transfers, what you have is, suppose the length of your tunnel, it is quite long, and then you have shaft only at a single location somewhere over here, okay, near the another phase of your tunnel. So for this much length, where there is no access to shaft, immediate access, so what is done is, in this much length, the longitudinal system is deployed. Okay, the exhaust fans will be deployed, what you see over here in this diagram on the top. So I've just encircled this fan. So for this much length, the fans will be used, so that air moves in longitudinal direction, and then wherever there is a shaft, so in that shaft, then the exhaust will be fitted, exhaust fan will be fitted, and then the exhaust air will be taken out. Okay, so this is a semi-transverse type, because we are relying on both the, or movement of the air in both the direction, in longitudinal direction as well as in the transverse direction. So that's the name, semi-transverse. The same you can see at the figures in the bottom. So the actual fans which are used in the shaft, so either they can be for letting in the fresh air, or taking out the exhaust gases, or for longitudinal system. So all in the longitudinal as well as in the transverse, and also in the semi-transverse systems, the axial fans are used, and depending on whether they are exhaust or normal fans, they will let in or let out your air or the exhaust respectively. So coming to the types of ventilation, if we talk about, so first is the natural ventilation. Now this is something that I have told you when I discussed this portal to portal entry exit point. So natural ventilation, obviously the name suggests that it depends on the basic principle of temperature difference. So as I told you, once your tunnel is in operation, so exhaust will be emitted from the vehicles which are using that tunnel, and that exhaust will be at a higher temperature. Due to that, the temperature in a tunnel will be more, and those exhaust gases will rise, and then using that temperature difference, that the air inside the tunnel is having a higher temperature than the air outside, so your air will move from high to low, or the system will try to balance itself, and in that way the ventilation will work. But again, for this thing to achieve, for the natural ventilation to be maintained, your tunnel, as I told you, it should be oriented in the direction of the wind. So if suppose your predominant wind for out of 365 days, 300 days your wind is blowing in east west direction. So your tunnel, if it is oriented in east west direction, then only you can go for natural ventilation. It's not the other way around. Okay, just remember that if your tunnel orientation matches with your orientation of direction of wind, then you can go for natural system. It's not like you want to install a natural system and that's why purposefully you are changing the orientation of tunnel. No, because decide the decision of uh, the decision that in which direction you have to orient the tunnel, it depends on some other factors, that what is the type of obstruction and what is your connecting road. So depending on that your orientation depends, not on the factor that what type of ventilation you have to provide. Okay. But it's an added benefit that if your orientation of tunnel is in direction of the predominant wind, then you can go for natural ventilation. Okay. And then for natural ventilation, if you have shafts at regular intervals, so that will also be a very added benefit. Another type of ventilation, obviously to counteract that natural, you have artificial ventilation, which is nothing but mechanical ventilation. So from the name itself, you'll come to know that there is some mechanical device which we are using so that this ventilation system works. So the first one is a propulsion system or the propulsion method or blowing process. So in this, again from the name, we are blowing in fresh air. Okay, so fresh air is blown through the working phase, and due to that force of that fresh air, because we are blowing inside it, blowing the fresh air inside the tunnel. So due to that force, the exhaust or whatever is the unwanted air or gases, we are just pushing it to the other phase or the other exit point of your tunnel. Okay. So in blowing process, what happens is due to that flow, the dust and the gases, they are taken along with side the blown air. Okay. And in this way the system remains working. So this system, it helps in providing fresh air near the working phase with ease. Okay. But again, the restriction comes when you deal with longer tunnels. So in case of longer tunnels, uh, the force or the force by which we are blowing this air, it might be insufficient, and then it will just ventilate the uh, faces or area which is near to your portal. So only might be this much area it is ventilated properly, and then the core interior of your tunnel, it remains unventilated, or the exhaust gases, they remain as it is inside. So for longer tunnels, this blowing process, it is sort of a disadvantage. So for that you can have this exhaust system. Now exhaust system, it works exactly by the name, or whatever the exhaust gases you have in your kitchens, you can imagine of that. So what is the purpose of the exhaust gases, exhaust fan in your kitchen, is that whatever is the fumes which are emitted during the cooking process, okay, so that can be just sucked out of the kitchen directly using that exhaust gas, exhaust fan. So same is the process in tunnel. The only difference is here the size of this exhaust fan, it is quite large. So that exhaust fan is capable of sucking out the air, whatever is the foul air or the dust. It is let in into this exhaust, and this exhaust then it throws out of the tunnel system. Okay. And then through the entrance, the fresh air will automatically come inside. So this is what I'm talking about. So at the exhaust, sorry, at the face or the at the portal, nearer to the portal, if you have this exhaust fan fitted, so what it will do is it will throw all the foul air and the dust particles outside, and then due to this, there will be sort of vacuum which will be created, temporary vacuum which will be created in this area. And once this partial vacuum is created, then fresh air, it will automatically come into your tunnel. Okay, so in this way your exhaust process or exhaust system, it works. All right. So this is very efficient method, the exhaust process or the vacuum process for quick removal of your dust and smoke. Okay. So that's why during the construction phase, uh, most of the time you'll find that there are exhaust fans which are installed, though they are temporary, but then two exhaust fans are installed because that will let out the dust and the smoke efficiently. And then there you have something called a combination system, which is a combination of blowing and exhaust system. Now what is this? Small hand sketches used to show this. So you have four walls fitted in your system. Okay. So this is the top view that you are looking into. So this is as shown. So this side you have the tunnel, and consider this as the near face, or here you have the portal, okay, at this end. So there are four walls which are fitted in the system, A, B, C, D, what you see over here. Okay. So these are those walls. Now just concentrate on those walls, on these walls, okay, because I am again going to erase this marking that the explanation will be easy. So now as the name goes, it's combination of blowing and exhaust. So in the exhaust process, what will happen is only two walls will be open. So maybe this valve C and valve A, they are open. So you can see the air, it is flowing out of the tunnel. Okay. So it flows like this. So this air is taken out, so exhaust. And then once the foul air is taken out, so maybe there is some duration, say for 15 seconds, say. So for 15 seconds, this is just an example that I've taken. It has nothing to do with the real values. So for 15 seconds, this exhaust will be, or this blower will be in exhaust mode. And then once 15 seconds are over, then the valves will reverse. So the valves which are open first, now they will be closed. So this, you can see valves A and C, they are closed, and now valves B and D, they are open, and now the fresh air, it is blown inside the tunnel. Okay, so that's why it's a combination of your blowing and exhaust technique. So instead of having a different blower and a different exhaust, because each of the system, blowing and exhaust, it has its own advantages. So instead of using two different systems, here we are combining them into a single system using a single blower. The same blower which can work as a blower, it can also work as an exhaust just by reversing the positions or reversing the movement of your valves. So this is the third type of mechanical ventilation, and this is just a schematic representation what is shown. So you can have this kind of systems as well. So if you have a very long tunnel, so at the portal itself you can have such exhaust fans or blower fans which will let in the fresh air, and then in the deep interior you can have two ventilation systems. So one will take care of the exhaust taking outside, and another will take care of letting in the fresh air. So I have just touched upon the very basic aspect of ventilation, because again, if we go into the details of this ventilation, again uh, we will have to study a bit about the air conditioning process and cooling process, which is part of mechanical engineering. So that's why I have just touched upon the very basic aspect of ventilation, that what type of ventilation you can have and what you have to keep in mind. Okay. So that's all with the ventilation in a tunneling, and that's the end of our fourth unit, tunnel engineering. We'll stop here for today.